Welcome back, everybody. So in the previous lesson we saw how to add an event associated with a specific store menu here. So we showed that and displayed that according to the current state of the menu. Here we have a second menu. So we have added in the previous lesson a button here. So I need to associate this with this second menu. So when I click here, I'm just gonna show it. When I click close, I'm just gonna hide it. So in order to do that, I'm just gonna go here to the store view and just gonna scroll a little bit down, and we're just gonna add a new script here. So I'm just gonna copy here the navigate to main menu and say navigate to second menu. So let me just change that to second. Navigate to second menu. So once we do that, we're just gonna load an overlay here. You can forget about it. The main panel, just gonna turn this to off. The current menu state is gonna be second menu. So after we change the current menu state, we can go here, toggle the menu game object. Alright, so I need to enable that by going to this button and add a function to it. So if you go select this button here, add function, and we select the canvas, or we just drag and drop the menu here, and after that I need to reference the function called second menu, navigate to second menu. So it's not there. Maybe I need to save the script. So yeah, save the script. Let me just try it right now. StoreView, navigate to second menu. It's not there. Let me just see why. Alright. Yeah, we have here a problem. Let me just see what is this problem. Try clear this and just gonna try to close and see why we got this error. Okay, here you can see inside the story view, we just checking this method. Let me just close this program. Here inside the set loading overlay visibility, once we set the overlay visibility, you can see here we got an error because we removed the store menu from the view. So I'm just gonna replace that with the no menu here because we replaced the name. So right now all is good. I'm just gonna back to this function and explain it to you, but let me explain what do we mean by how to add the second toggle to another menu inside of your script. So all the time make sure that you don't have any error in order to compile the script. So I'm just gonna save this and come back here to Unity, clear the console, and go to this button that we have added. Alright, so here I'm just gonna go function, store view. I'm just gonna call the navigate to second menu. Alright, so once we click on this button, we're just gonna toggle the menu by changing the menu state. So make sure that you are not at the runtime because everything you do is gonna be not included. So here, let's go navigate to second menu and let's test this out. So make sure that the second menu is deactivated as the first menu. So once you click play right now, just gonna click on this button, just gonna see that we have enabled the second menu. If you click here, we're just gonna deactivate the second menu. If you click the store, just gonna enable the store menu. Click here, just gonna deactivate the store menu, and this is really awesome. All right, so you can come here and remove this debug the log error because we don't need it. And let me just explain to you the function that we were talking about in the previous lesson, which is set loading overlay visibility. So you can see this is a method, and it's a static void method, and we use this method in order to toggle the overlay. And the overlay is just basically here we have this overlay, and you can see we just toggle this overlay, and we are toggling this overlay according to the current instance. So if the current instance here, which we were initialized here inside start, if this instance is not equal to null, this means it was initialized. So if it's not equal to null, means it's initialized. We need to go here. If not, we need to display this needed before initialization here. So if it was initialized, we need to continue here, and you can see we just check if the current overlay is active. So we just choose this method. We are using this variable is active is equal to state, and state basically is coming from here. So if it's true, it's true. If it's false, it's false. So if it's, for example, it's true and the instance, the current menu state is not equal to menu state no menu, this means that we are opening the store, for example. We are going to set this to active. If it's active, if this is active, we're just gonna say set active for the overlay inside this scene. If not, we're just gonna show here a specific function inside the editor. If it's inside the editor, we're just gonna say instance dot wait and do half a second, and after half a second go and change the overlay to false. If the application is not editor, so we're talking about Android or iOS, we're just gonna set the loading overlay directly to false. Alright, so this is basically the script that we got here. Okay, so if we continue, you might ask where this wait and do comes from. This wait and do is an extension method. So in order to make extensions method inside of Unity, we have attached here something called extensions. So if you open extensions here, you can see we are using here a static class called extensions, and inside this extension class we have multiple methods. And for example, we have get random item, we have wait and do, and this is the wait and do method that we are using. So notice how to define an extension method to the mono behavior. You could do that by the following. Here we initialize the method public static void wait and do, and after that we use this keyword, this mono behavior mono, and after that we give it the number of the argument that we need, which is here number of seconds, and after that we give it the action that we need. Action is just basically the function that you need to execute. All right, so here we check if the action is not equal to null. So for example, you can see here we just give the first parameter. All right, so instance, which is this, wait and do, which is the function that extension method that we call here, the first argument, which is here, and the last parameter here is the function that you need to call, or the action. So here we are passing an action to change the current instance loading overlay to false, for example. So we have to pass an action here. So we check if this action is not equal to null, and we check if seconds is bigger than 0. We have to come here and call mono.start coroutine. So we're just gonna start a coroutine, and using this coroutine, we're just gonna call the second function here called wait and do coroutine. So we just give it the number of seconds and we just execute the action. So if the number of seconds is not bigger than 0, we're just gonna do that right away using the action call here. So inside the wait and do coroutine, we're just gonna use enumeration data type coroutine. So here you can see wait and do coroutine just gonna take seconds and action, and after that we're just gonna wait for amount of seconds, 2 seconds for example, and then we're just gonna try and catch and do the action that we have here. Alright, this is just basically in case you might not be familiar with extensions method inside of C#. Yeah, this is pretty much about the set loading overlay visibility method, and we use this method inside of our store controller. For example, when we're talking about the StoreView, the set loading overlay visibility to true, false, and we're just gonna use this method and the instance of this method here, because it's static method. We're just gonna call it right away using the class name. So this is the usage of this set loading overlay method, and we just call this here inside the StoreView initialization, and we just explain what do we mean by needed before initialization has value, and initialize the value. And why we use this format, because you might not assign a value to the overlay. So in case there's no assigned value to this overlay, it's gonna be null. Okay, so if null and any other value, it's gonna be false. So all the time when we get started, we're not gonna show any overlay because the value of it just gonna be false. But when we give an overlay to this value, we're just gonna display a visibility. So how we did this, basically why we did this not true or false, because we assigned here a boolean flag called needed before in it. So we use this question mark in order to make this variable as nullable. And what do we mean by nullable item? Nullable item is just an item that could be assigned as a null value, not true or false only. You can make it null. So this is the difference between null and not nullable or not nullable variables. So in nullable items, you can use the has value item, and you can get the actual value if it's true or false by using the dot value. And after that, we're just gonna toggle the external links in the start method, and if we, as I said before, if we get a balance of any of these values, just gonna display the links to true. If not, just gonna display false. So this is pretty much all the story, guys, about the store item, the store view, how to customize it, how to add additional items, how to add additional menus to your scene. So I'm just gonna come here to second menu, remove it, and also remove this button from here. After that, I'm just gonna save the scene. And the same thing here, we're talking about gaming store, the same thing applied here inside the main scene. So we got a menu, we got the same hierarchy, the same thing is going on this scene. And the game scene, we don't have store. We just got a menu without store view. So this is the main difference between the game and in-game and store and the main scene, as you can see here. So yeah, this is pretty much all the story, guys, for customization and understanding of the scripting behind the Mindizor project and how to make your own clone and apply this into your own project, and how to make your in-app purchase game in a very easy way. So thank you guys again for watching all the time. Here's Ahmad Naser from AhmadNaser.com. See you in other lesson. Thank you again for watching.